everyone, and welcome to this week's Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here. We're back. I know we took 2 weeks off, and thank you guys for your patience. I got home from E3 last Tuesday night at about 10:30 p.m. and was just out of my mind, exhausted, literally fell asleep on the couch. And then, I was like, it's just not going to happen before tomorrow morning. So the good news about that is it gave you guys in the Naked Army an extra week to make your responses, and so we have a lot of responses from last week's about fans becoming friends, etc. And the responses were from David, Christopher, El Pollo, Colin, Julia, Chris, Nerwin, Kush, Kavaja, Ryan, Michael, Nathan, Prescott and Kristen, Dominic, Lawrence, Pat, Sky, and Richard. So almost the entire Naked Army showed up in full force this time. Yay! If you want to check out their Naked Army vlogs or their Naked Truth vlogs, you can do that by clicking the link in the description below. So there was no question in particular that prompted this week's topic. This was more of a discussion I was having with a friend and kind of a life update thing. So I don't know if those of you who watch these vlogs frequently have ever noticed, but I notice them. I notice it because I'm looking at it, but I've got a lump right here on the side of my face. I named it Larry. Larry has been there for, I don't know, about 5 years, and I always thought it had something to do with my jaw clicking, because I do have TMJ, and so my jaw pops sometimes, and I always thought it had to do with that, but I was being, I was being a coward and not going to the doctor about it forever, because I was like, I don't like going to the doctor. But just recently I had a few makeup artists, now that I do shows that have makeup artists, so exciting, still so exciting, say, hey, what is that? You should get that checked out. So I did. I went to the doctor, and many doctors, a doctor who referred me to another doctor who referred me to another doctor. And long story short, it is not my jaw. It is some type of abnormality that needs to be checked out. And so I am having it checked out. I'm going to have it biopsied tomorrow, which I hope that there is no downtime for the biopsy because I have VidCon on Friday. I hope I will see a lot of you there. So if I have like a big puffy face or something at VidCon, then that's totally why. But yeah, so the biopsy that they're doing tomorrow is a small one. And that will find out if I either need little surgery or big surgery to get it removed. So keep your fingers crossed for me that it's little surgery is the answer and not big surgery. The doctor said that he doesn't think it's cancerous, which is good news. But they're never certain until they biopsy. But I'm trying to be pretty optimistic about it. I had a lump in my boob taken out last year-ish, maybe a year and a half ago-ish, biopsied and everything, and that turned out to be okay. So, I'm trying to think like, hey, this could just be another situation like that, not a big deal. So I guess I'm telling you guys this for a few reasons. I'm telling you this because of a conversation I had with my friend who also struggles with some wonky medical stuff, and she was like, why does this happen to us? And I thought about it, and I thought, I'm pretty sure that both physical and mental health issues happen to a lot of us, a lot more than are talking about it. And I think it's because there's a stigma of people not wanting to appear weak. And again, that's whether it's, physical health or mental health. Mental health can also be physical health. But anyway, I'm sure I'm not using the right terms. But I think a lot more people are going through it than talk about it. And I think that the more we kind of realize that it's a normal thing, the less scared we'd be. I mean, I do the same thing everybody else does, where I go to WebMD and go down that rabbit hole and, end up thinking I have everything in the world wrong with me because I went on the internet. Don't do that. But yeah, so I wanted to share this with you guys to say, if you are dealing with anything, you're not alone. We all have weird stuff. And B, I wanted to share it in case I do end up needing to take some downtime, in case it does end up being big surgery or, or something else that I'm going to need to go in a lot for. I wanted to let everybody know and just kind of give an update on my life, because this whole vlog series is about being real and, talking about what the issues are. So hopefully Larry will not be there much longer, and I don't know how long that process is going to take or whatever, but if it does end up being something serious, I will, of course, let everyone know. So my question to you guys this week is, if you have or had any kind of weird or just serious medical issues that you kind of felt like you were alone in dealing with, and you are comfortable talking about it, then put it out there. maybe someone else will say, hey, I struggle with the same thing and this helps me. Or maybe the way that you dealt with it will help somebody else. And also it might just feel good to get it off your chest and talk about it a little bit. I've been worried about this guy for, I don't know, probably a month now, and haven't really talked about it with anyone other than my parents and Nate. So it's kind of nice to talk about it with everybody. So for those of you who will be at VidCon this Friday, I'm going to tweet out a graphic saying where I'm going to be all day, and I hope that I get to see you. That would be awesome. And yeah, I want to keep talking to you, but I can't think of anything else that I have to say. So for right now, I'm going to say goodbye, and then I will continue the discussion in the comments section. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.